Mercedes has revealed Valtteri Bottas's Monaco Grand Prix pit lane clash with Max Verstappen could have been avoided had Lewis Hamilton not clipped a wheel gun during the Silver Arrow's stacked stop. The top four, Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel, pitted on lap 11 under the safety car, but a tiny error from Hamilton was all it took to compromise his teammate.
Unfortunately, as Lewis left, he clipped one of the guns, and it took just a few seconds for them to reset properly. And the cost to us was a couple of tenths. That's it, but that's all you need.
Bottas's delay meant a drag race with Verstappen and wheel damage that required a second stop when the Dutchman was unsafely released into his path, for which he received a 5-second time penalty.
Red Bull had a very, very good pit stop, one of the best of the year for them. And those extremes meant that as the cars went out and were in the pit lane, Verstappen came alongside, hit the left-hand side of Valtteri's car, pushing the right-hand side into the wall and damaging that front right wheel, which is what you can see in this picture.
Bottas's second stop meant he dropped to fourth, costing Mercedes a 6th 1-2 result to start the season. The eyes of the world were on the Austrian capital of Vienna last week as one of Formula One's truest greats, Andreas Nicolaus Niki Lauda, was laid to rest. The funeral, held at St. Stephen's Cathedral on Wednesday, was a private affair with around 350 guests, including F1 stars past and present. With the late great Austrian's widow, Birgit Wetzinger, adorning his coffin with a wreath. Son Lucas, one of his 5 children, placing one of Lauda's iconic helmets on it. Austrian President Alexander van der Bellen, former Chancellor Sebastian Kurz, and Arnold Schwarzenegger gave speeches at the end of the ceremony. Lauda passed away on May 20, aged 70, after a long period of ill health, the Austrian in and out of hospital for a lung transplant and flu infection. The 3-time F1 world champion and businessman was on borrowed time after inhaling toxic fumes in his fiery crash at the 1976 German GP, held at the fearsome Nürburgring Nordschleife. Niki Lauda will forever be remembered as a great racer, leader, and man. Mexico's Sergio Perez will almost certainly set a new all-time record in Canada, but it's one he won't be proud of. Sunday marking his 162nd F1 start, the most without a pole position. Perez heads to Montreal equal first on the all-time list, with racer-turned-pundit Johnny Herbert, with Martin Brundle next on 158. Olivier Panis is fourth, ahead of Haas's Romain Grosjean. Perez's best grid slot to date has been fourth, which he's reached on 5 occasions, the most recent in Belgium last year. 2019 is the Mexican's 6th season with Force India turned Racing Point, before which he spent a single failed season with McLaren. His F1 debut coming with Sauber in 2011, when a string of giant-killing drives marked him out as a future star. Cape Town's tourism could soon be boosted, with F1 in discussions to resurrect the South African Grand Prix, and Red Bull's visit last weekend providing hope a deal can be done for the 2021 season. There was plenty of national pride on display, as 50,000 people went downtown on Sunday to see former Grand Prix star David Coulthard take to the 2011 World Championship winning RB7. The 48-year-old waving to the crowd before being strapped into the V8-powered machine and serving up plenty of donuts as he made his way down Darling Street and the Grand Parade. And the Scot was surprised by the support.
I've been really blown away by the level of the fan base for the automobile and for motorsport in general here in South Africa. And I know of the rich history with previous world champions and previous Grand Prix championship races in South Africa, but I hadn't appreciated just the level of enthusiasm, because it's been some time since there's been a Grand Prix here in the country.
The South African event was last run in 1993 at the iconic Kyalami circuit, where organizers hope crowds can again return for F1 fever. German marque Porsche has revealed that it went so far in its plans to take on F1 from 2021 that it built and tested a compatible 6-cylinder engine. The project came on the back of the iconic manufacturer's exit from the World Endurance Championships LMP1 category at the end of 2017. But F1's decision to ultimately stick with its super complex MGU-H that converts waste heat from the turbo saw Porsche turn its back on an entry. Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.